So this video is not for clean people, like OCD clean people. This may bring anxiety, so if that's you, you may want to click away because I'm gonna go into talking about messy stuff. I like to stumble upon things that kind of help validate my issues. And I've been doing just like a lot of like website diving, why I do this stuff. And it's always been something that's always plagued me. Some stuff I've always done, which makes sense to me. Well, it just feels more, I guess not makes sense, but the outside world of the majority of people will kind of judge it to where this person's some, I don't know.
Why is he so messy? Why is there clutter everywhere?
I've always been like I don't make my bed. I try to nowadays. I've ran into stuff where it says like, if you start the day out by kind of at least just making your bed, it gives you kind of a sense of accomplishment for the day, which kind of propels you into doing other stuff and getting it done. But no, I'm kind of a 50-50. If I make my bed, I make my bed. If I don't, then it is what it is. When it comes to my house, I'm not a slob. I'm not one of those guys on the hoarder. I don't have just trash piling up to where you see like flies and steam from the smell of it coming off. I don't have that in the house, but I am very countertop cluttery. The common areas of my house they're gonna be decluttered and kind of stuff put away in a sense if I have company coming over, which is super rare. But I'm not one of those ones where if I open that door to somebody and let them actually walk in my house, they're not gonna be stepping over clutter. I'm not gonna have stuff on the ground. I'm gonna have it kind of picked up beforehand. If I'm at home and stuff like that, I kind of have a somewhat of a, I don't know, 3-day type tolerance level to where things will build up. It's different though, like in other areas that aren't common areas, like my garage, it's a completely catch-all for like cardboard boxes, just everything that it just builds up. It's an out of sight, out of mind thing where it doesn't like bring me anxiety to know it's there. And I have like a lot of junk drawers. I'm like a junk drawer king to where kitchen drawers that would typically have more room for pots and pans or whatever you might put in drawers. My stuff has a mixture of all kinds of random stuff, especially when I get into like a creative zone. YouTube, I preach this all the time, but when I get into YouTube, that's my creative spot. Like I'll tell people when I get in the video mode, it's bad because everything else around me just falls apart. Everything else builds up. It gets so messy where when I kind of latch my teeth into something creative or something I'm passionate about, everything else kind of goes to crap. Reading about it more, it's super interesting because it kind of comes across like saying that being messy and having like a crazy cluttered desk and all those things, this is like scientifically proven on a lot of these articles or whatever. People with a lot of clutter in their lives and things like that, or more of a creative type person. And it's not saying if you're clean, you can't be creative, but it's just the mind of how a creative person works in terms of more so looking at the big picture and just kind of going off into just all the mundane tasks. Those are just, it is what it is. It's in front of you. It's things that you can take and put away. So if you focus on cleaning all the time or this and that or putting things away to where it's super organized, you don't have that big picture type creative pull because you're more focusing on those little things that are just, it is A to B. You make your bed's made. There's nothing really creative about it. If you apply more focus to not doing all those things, and again, I'm not condoning everyone just turn into a slob, but it's interesting to read and just see that generally it's said that the messy people that have more clutter in their life, and again, us being adverse to somewhat mundane details is a stereotypical thing that says about INFPs and other like types. The mundane tasks and chores and stuff like that, I can do them. That's just not my focus. Like it's not, if it goes a couple days to where it doesn't get picked up, it doesn't bother me. Like I don't have this high anxiety level of like, oh no, I gotta do that. I got other stuff I gotta do. I got other stuff I wanna do. My truck is a little bit more of a tolerance. That might be a couple month tolerance where things kind of build up and things like that, but it's just different than the house. I do like to get things clean. I do have a sense of freshness about everything, but it quickly builds up. I mean, within a matter of a couple days, it starts accumulating, and then next thing I know, like a week or two later goes by, and I'm just like, dude, you just cleaned this. So I have other rooms that are just not commonly used rooms, like in the basement, things like that. I just have a lot of clutter. And like my last job, well, not my last, no, when I was in the military, I always had my boss there. One of his key phrases that I heard, like, I don't know, it seemed like every week or at least once a month or whatever, but he always said that
sloppiness breeds inefficiency.
And so we would constantly clean things and do all kinds of stuff. And in the military, you do tend to keep things clean with military precision type stuff. Like counter space for me is a place to where if it's empty counter space, things will accumulate there. I've had, girlfriends live with me, whatever, in the past. They're more of the cleanliness type people where they, things have their place. Like, I don't know, a spoon goes in the spoon drawer. Instead, for me, a spoon gets clean and it sits on the countertop. I don't know, I can't. But there's a lot of stuff. Right now on my kitchen, I have like a thing of toothpaste sitting there. So typing in messy and creative, let me jump over here. I'll be able to put it right here now that we have. A messy desk is a sign of a genius, according to science. Science proves disorganized people are more productive. Messy people have more creative and productive minds, science says. Messy people are tapping into a kind of genius the tidy don't understand. New York Times, opinion, it's not mess, it's creativity. All our lives we've been told to be organized. Organization has always been pegged as the direct key to success, whether at home, school, or in your bunk at camp. Organization is something that has been instilled in everyone pretty much from birth. On the other hand, being messy has been equally condemned and made to be a quick path to failure, and honestly, no rebuttal could say otherwise. Consider this from Albert Einstein. If a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, then what are we to think of an empty desk? Einstein wasn't alone. Mark Twain too had a cluttered desk, perhaps even more cluttered than that of Albert Einstein. Mark Twain was one of the most imaginative minds of his generation. Many of us follow the ideology that seemingly chaotic and unorganized individuals do not perform well. Thus, we are encouraged to keep our workspace or desk organized with the expectation of delivering better results. However, we shouldn't be so quick to judge an unmanaged desk or workplace when it comes to creativity or productivity. In fact, there are various studies and claims that those with messier desks can often be more productive, more creative, and more inspired than others. Messy people may appear careless or unorganized, but they are often masters in the art of prioritization. They often place the most important things first, while lesser aspects are temporarily left behind. While it may appear beneficial to keep everything perfectly organized, for messy people, it's a mere hindrance when dealing with the task at hand. Mess isn't necessarily the absence of order. A messy desk can be a highly effective prioritizing and accessing system. On a messy desk, the more important urgent work tends to stay close by and near the top of the clutter, while the safely ignorable stuff tends to get buried to the bottom or near the back, which makes perfect sense. They can find inspiration in the chaos. The creative people feel free from the limitations in messy and disorderly environments. It helps them to break the traditions and produce new insights. On the opposite side, orderly environments which resemble safe and conventional zones encourage more routine and safe work practices. They are often braver and faster decision makers. Messy people naturally save precious time and mental energy by ignoring clutter-related issues. These people understand the cost of opportunity and don't get caught up in the routine distractions that can absorb clean freaks. Sometimes, workspace tidying can even become a form of procrastination. For those fully focused on achieving goals or striving to reach a target, keeping a workspace tidy is often the last thing on the priority list. Like many famous painters, Francis Bacon's workplace may have resembled a chaotic, messy, but he was merely channeling all his creative energy into making great paintings. I just find it interesting because, again, there's going to be people, even INFPs, watching this video, making it to this part. They're going to sit there and be like, oh, that's just, it doesn't make any sense. That's fine. It's fine. We're going to have, just because you're an INFP doesn't mean you're a cluttery, messy type person. Again, we're all different and things like that. But I know for me personally, I'm a messy INFP. I'm a cluttery INFP. I have things that just are, I don't care about it. Like it bothers me if someone else sees it, but like if I'm living in it, like it's okay to me because I kind of know where everything is. If someone comes in and starts putting stuff away where it should go, I don't know where it goes. Like I don't know where, like I don't know where to find it. But like if I have stuff laying around just all over the place, I know where it's at, and it just makes more sense to me where I kind of put it there. I just want to throw this out there. So like if you are a messy person, just don't beat yourself up about it and understand there's another side of it to where research has shown that you are okay and that your mind just operates in a different manner that other ones might operate in. And those people that aren't as cluttery or whatever, they're still being a very productive person in society, and they're getting all kinds of stuff done that, you know, we might not be getting done. But again, it's just a partnership of everybody together. And we need the cluttery, messy type people. We need the organized, clean people. It's just that, you know, yin and yang, just balance of just bringing everything together and creating forward flow and progress and things like that. So, all right, that's all I have for this video. So thanks for watching the video. I'm gonna go now. Bye-bye.